Time to celebrate women in business, of course, from the agricultural sector to technology, finance, sports, engineering, fashion, and the informal sector. Women have distinguished themselves in all of the sector. Well, let's celebrate one woman who has crafted a space for herself in agriculture. She is the CEO, Solisi Foods and Beverages, Olushola Adeniro. It's good to have you join us on the program, and I'm super excited that we're celebrating women today, and I'm super excited that you're also a woman.
It's my pleasure to be here. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so much conversation about how women are celebrated almost every day or every time of the month, and of course we deserve it. We deserve to be celebrated considering all that we contribute to the Nigerian economy in the informal sector and other sectors of the economy. So in your space, what's the representation of women, and how encouraging, is that space to women?
Okay, so thank you so much. Women in agricultural space has been encouraging, right there in the farm. You see women supporting their men, going into planting, like I process gari, for example. Most of the women that sell cassava to us are actually a group of women that ordinarily they want to do something for their family, to raise their children, to make life better for themselves. So women are many, and they needed to be encouraged on a daily basis. That's why we actually come into that space to serve as like off-taker for them. So what we do is to take this cassava from them to process into gari, which make them to have like a ready-made market for their product around the year.
That's absolutely amazing. That's the fact that you're, of course, supporting women and ensuring that they have food on their table, they have some kind of support for their family. But do you think there is something more we should be doing for them? Of course, I admire what you're doing for them, of course, giving them that uptake, but what should we be doing? What should the men be doing? What should the government be doing to support these women?
So this group of women, from time to time, we need support, most especially financial support. Women needed to be supported in, most of the time when we go to some of these finance houses to seek finance, you will be told to go and get collateral security. Most of the time, the building you are going to use as collateral belongs to the husband. So if your husband is not really comfortable, he's not waking up from the right side of the bed, he might decide not to give you the support. In fact, he might not just want you to like outshine him. Yeah. But if government is coming into this space looking at like a kind of flexibility in support for women in terms of finance, access to finance, I think it will go a long way in helping women to be independent and to be able to do more. Because we are actually, in fact, women, I can say they are doing far better if they have the support from the government, from the husband, even from the neighborhood, from the community. So I think government can do better in terms of collateral, flexibility.
Which is why we're celebrating today. And the theme for today is break the bias. And if you look at what you just said about women not having access to finance because they have to still go back to their husbands, of course, to ask for certain things. Do you think, apart from finance, are there other biases against women in the space?
Even the ownership of land, most of the time, in some tribe in Nigeria, for example, women don't own land. You need permission of
a male folk in the family.
You understand, to own, to have access to the ownership of a land. It shouldn't be so. Women should have this encouragement from all angles that we are human like every other person. We have the brain, we can think, we can hold offices, we are responsible people. So we should be given that access because we can actually do it. Not as if we are not like not competent or not capable. We should be given the opportunity, because the more we are being supported, the better even for the men. We are not competing in any way. Yeah. We just want to...
They always think we're competing with them.
Not at all. We are not competing. We are only saying, let's take this burden off you. Let's do it together, because it will be better when we are doing it together.
So for you, as someone in the food and beverages sector, what do you actually do, and how, of course, you said you give an uptake to a group of women who are farmers, but tell us actually, what do you do, and how have you carved that space for yourself? I understand you've been doing this for about 10 years now?
Yes, 12 years.
12 years,
Yes.
interesting. So what do you actually do?
Okay, so 2009, after service, I worked for like 1 year. Then I have this passion in me that I want to be an employer of labor, that I don't just want to be out there looking for a job. So I started with 3,000 naira. That's the power of women. And the business has grown to like 150 million naira. I'm talking to you today, 12 years down the line. But it's a whole lot of job dedication, perseverance, you know, to really get to where we've been to. We actually started with bakery. So pure distribution, processing and distribution of bread, varieties of bread. We are the first to do a coconut in partnership with Lagos Ministry of Agriculture, Department of Lascoda. So we work together with people. And in doing all this, we are able to create job for the school leavers. And so we started majorly with bread. After a while, we see that there is a need for us to really have a phase, because then we were producing from home. So we had a phase where people can walk in, buy their bread, and along the line we run a supermarket before we now venture into processing of gari, which I had this innovation from my childhood. I grew up, you know, knowing gari, but we are doing it in a unique way that when you have our gari, it's in an airtight container, it's handy, you can have it in the offices. So all of this still go back to giving back. It's like a line, giving back to the society, creating job opportunity for the young school leavers, even our women, because some of them are our distributors. Yeah. So those are the things we've been able to cover in the last 12 years.
We celebrate you for carving a niche for yourself in this space. She is CEO, Solisi Foods and Beverages, Olushola Adinira. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.